All righty, sir. So, walk me through real quick. How did January feel? What were some things that we were working on? What were some things that did you have a struggle with? Was there a certain pitch that you had an issue with? Lefty fastball, righty slider? Just kind of give me a brief overview of how you felt with January. Don't necessarily go over the numbers. We're going to sit down and go over the numbers, but I want you to just kind of give me a brief overview of how you felt January went for yourself.
I feel like January that was just like I was trying new things, like the grip, the where I stood, I changed. Like I was just trying new things to see what works.
Like what?
Let's see, like the hand thing, um,
The what?
like
Okay. And I think
that.
that we started working on that last week, right?
Yeah.
So
I
we're
was
going
really
over January. So
January.
yeah.
I remember during that time we did the like to stay low. We practiced that a lot in January.
How did you feel with that?
I feel like I got a lot better at that. Like, yeah, I feel like it took a while, but I got better at that.
Hold on, speak up a little louder for me.
I feel like it took a while, but I got better at that.
Okay.
Um, the what's it called? Like after I hit it, I leaned to the side and touched.
Yep. Getting a little bit more posture.
Yeah, that helps.
Good. Have you been doing any of that at your other team's practices or just in here?
Yeah, I did that. I hustle,
Yeah,
and
good.
it worked out well.
Oh, baby. Anything else?
Um, I feel like that's it.
No worries. So, kind of going to go over into this. January, we added in doing a little bit more mixed pitch as well.
Yeah.
Do you recall that?
Yes.
So you weren't exactly sure what pitches exactly were coming at you all the time. Now, a lot of the time we did do just like a fastball or a curveball. We didn't try and make it where you had like a pitch mix or anything like that, but there was a variety that was thrown at you. So it is generally anticipated that our bat speed is going to drop a little bit when we do start seeing mixed pitch, just because you don't know what pitch is coming, you don't know what timing you should have. So we have a little bit more of or a little less of anticipation of being able to just kind of go. A little bit more of like, is this a fastball? Is it a curveball? Is it a good pitch, bad pitch, up, down, in, out? So on average, even when we go, I'll pull up. Let's see here. Let me pull up. So Nate Brown's going to be a horrible example. He's the one kid that didn't. Let's go. This is one of my juniors that has been coming with me for a while. So if you notice, on the months that we're training bat speed, so that's the blue months, the red months is where we're training bat to ball. Bat speed months, he was a little bit higher. Bat to ball months, he was a little bit lower. So he went from being in a bat speed month with a 59.4. When we went to mixed pitch, it dropped down to 57.3. So on average, all of my guys, when we do start introducing mixed pitch, we are going to see a decrease when it comes to our bat speed generally, just because we're trying to figure out what pitch is coming in at us. Now, that's also why we started introducing this in January, to try and give us a month of trying to figure it out, and then a month of going, ooh, I've got this. So on average, it does decrease a little bit when we do add that mixed pitch variety into there. In an ideal world, it doesn't happen, but in an expected world, it does. So now our job in February is to see, can we get back up to that 47, that 49 bat speed in February with mixed pitch? That's the goal. That's the dream. Whatever generally we do in here is what we can sometimes look to anticipate when we get to the field. The field even may be a little bit easier because you have an arm action kind of being thrown at you, but then you do have the added aspect of runner on second, 2 outs. Mom and auntie are screaming in the stands, "Come on, Isaiah!" So now we got a little bit more like anxiety attached to it. So it kind of like equals itself out a little bit. So that's why we're trying to introduce that about a month early before the season gets going. So that way you can kind of start to get an idea of how to attack a pitcher that might throw a variety of pitches, variety of locations. Now, one cool thing that I would like to look at, our rotation increase, dude. Did better than it did in December. And this has been one of your best months with rotation. This is another thing that we generally see when we do see that mixed pitch increase. The bat speed may not be as fast as it's been, but the aspect of I need to go is needing to be a little bit better. Because again, instead of it being a fastball and you can stride and just swing essentially the moment the ball comes out of the machine, now we have to see that pitch a little bit more. So now it's like stride, there it is, plant, accelerate. So there is a little bit of a trade-off with that, and we did a really good job in this month of January with that. How did you feel with going over these?
Good.
You feel good with that?
Yeah.
Beauty. And then also, if you have anything that you have a question on or see, feel free to let me know.
So I'm looking at the ranges here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's doing okay.
Yes, sir.
With this right here.
Yep, he's doing a good job with these guys.
But that's also within this range here. So what determines whether it's yellow or red?
So essentially, this is just underclassmen averages, youth averages, upperclassmen averages,
Right.
college averages, pro averages. And this is also where's go ahead.
Yeah, so like the 6 through 12 and the 10 through 15. So 10 and 11 fall within both ranges,
Yeah.
right? So how does this determine which?
Just depending on how my fat fingers pressed it into it.
Oh, okay.
I would say you're pretty much on the cusp when you're within that when you're within that range right there. So like the 10, 11, 12, I've seen guys that are pretty good with it. So like that, I see that 10, 11, 12 right here to here. So I've seen youth guys that are 10, 11, 12, but then really low on this end. I've also seen underclassmen that are 10, 11, 12, but then really high on the bat speed end. So it kind of just there is some overlap with it. It's not necessarily just like once you're at this point. There's also a little other factor into it, but it's just depending on whatever my fat fingers typed in on that day.
So it'd be a judgment call on your part.
Pretty close. It's also just an automatic filter. So essentially, it just there's a conditional format. So it just says value between 10 under 10 is youth, value between 10 and 14. So it's just kind of depending on that guy. But that's also where I have added in, and now I can't find it. We'll just switch it to this guy. That's also why now that I've gone about a year of being in here with a very consistent environment, I'm going back through and finding the 5th and 6th grade averages of my guys, 7th and 8th grade, underclassmen, upperclassmen, and the college. So that way, instead of this is me going off of blast motion data, previous data that I've had, but not necessarily in this environment. So I'm essentially kind of rewriting my averages book right now. I just haven't necessarily completed it fully yet. I still got this portion of the underclassmen that I got to finish, and then I got to finish all the upperclassmen. So here in a little bit, I'm going to have some true, like, what are the ranges in here over, I think there's been about 50 plus kids that have come through here, all different ages and stuff like that. So we'll have a pretty good variety or like a good idea here in a little bit of what it is compared to in here. This is, like I said, from what I got at Driveline, Blast Motion, Rapsodo, kind of a mix of all of them. But that's not also always going off of a pitching machine like this at this distance, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
So he's doing way better with rotation this last month. Like I said, that's anticipated when we're looking at that bat speed aspect. This is generally going to go down with mixed pitch. This is generally going to go up with mixed pitch. So now the next goal is, can we keep rotation the same, increase that bat speed on this next upcoming month? Okay. The one thing that we are going to want to try and work on, and that's what we're going to be doing drills on over there, your attack angle dropped. So we went from a 9, 5, 2. Essentially, we're catching, I think, a lot of balls back here, and then we're kind of coming down with our bat path. So ideal world, average fastball is going to come out like a -9 descent angle for you. So we want to kind of match that -9 with a +9 of ours. So pitch comes in -9, we want a +9. Right now, pitch is coming in -9, you're going at it with a 2. And so that's just making it to where your bat's a little bit more down or flatter compared to the pitch, a lot more ground balls for us. That can also be attributed to being a little bit later. So your swing is going to kind of have a little bit of like a half circle to it. Your hands are going to start up by your shoulder. When we swing, barrel comes down, and then when we finish, kind of finishes up here. So if you're late on pitches, you are going to be catching a lot more balls kind of back here on that downward portion of the swing, rather than if we're early on pitches, we're going to be catching it more on that uphill portion of the swing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So right now we're at that 2. I want to see if we can get back to that like 5, that 9 aspect for us. Okay. Now I know you're fast, but I don't want to make it to where we're only essentially hitting balls on the ground. There's a lot more space in the outfield. There's 3 players in the outfield to all that space compared to 5 players on the infield for all that little of space. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get the ball out in the air, okay? Now, the next part of that, and I think this is where that timing aspect kind of comes into play too. -20 with our VBA. So VBA is going to be looking at the angle. Should have another bat.
If I can, real quick.
Yes,
so,
sir.
And I think, because I heard it at his last practice, so Isiah was popping him out to the outfield, and they're trying to adjust his stance and swing a little bit for more grounders and line drives. So I don't know if they're looking at him like top of the lineup for batting, like speed wise, running and all that. But I want you to listen to him. Okay? Whatever the coaches tell you over there, say okay. But you're gonna do what he teaches you.
And I'll show you some pretty cool data that will. And I'm not saying that we can't hit a ground ball. I'm saying you're not giving your chance at all for even like a line drive. So essentially right now you've got either a ball that's going straight down or a ball that's going straight up because of that bat path.
Okay.
So like I'm agreeing and like we need to hit line drives. I think we have a Venn diagram where I'm more a little bit more in the air, line drives, and they're probably all on the ground, a little bit line drives. So there is a happy medium that we can find with it. But I'll show you some data that will be pretty cool that will back some stuff up.
Okay, no, so that's what I'm telling him in front of you.
And I appreciate that.
You're going to get conflicting notes, okay?
And
right here, what he's telling you is what I want you to go with, okay? The coach suggests you something in the cage there, do it, okay? But ultimately, you're doing what Connor says. All
And
right?
if you ever have issues and like trying to figure out what they're saying, the verbiage that they're using, whatever it is, view me as like a Google Translate for coaches. So come in like, hey, he was telling me he needs me chopping down at the ball. I might be able to kind of say like, okay, like what was the situation? What was happening? Well, I was popping everything up. Okay, I could maybe see that in a situation. So like if you ever do get kind of frustrated or confused or whatever it is, you let me know. We can sit down. We can chat about it as well. Okay, I want to make sure that you feel good. It's not always necessarily the easiest thing when you might have some conflicting thoughts. So you just let me know. We can chat about it. Make sure that you feel good about it. Okay.
Okay.
Beauty.
And then one other thing that I've noticed with them is their cage is like cut in half.
Super small.
Yeah. So I don't know if that affects his
I
output.
Yes.
I do good at practice.
Yeah.
I feel like from last
So
time I got
the big issue with athletes is they're going to be very reactive of the environment that they're in. And so, and it's not a bad, and this is where it kind of back and forth. It's not a bad thing to have like a short cage. There are down qualities to that. One, for an athlete, he needs to see the ball over a long period of time because a lot of the time that is where the little micro movements happen. Because if he's used to the ball being fed out and him swinging, not even relative to the speed, it's just the amount of time that that ball has to travel necessarily. That for a athlete, normally when the ball's super small or being shot from a super short distance, I don't have time to maybe get an extra waggle. But now that the ball is being shot from 60 feet, now I have a little bit more time to maybe add an extra waggle, or maybe I have a little bit more time instead of maintaining this posture because the ball's a little further away. Now I have time to maybe stand up a little bit more, cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Right. So like there are sometimes now there's also good factors to having a short cage. We're working on like quickness. How quick can I get to the ball? And that can kind of make a little bit more sense too. We've talked a lot about how your coaches are discussing like, hey, you have very quick hands, great bat speed. I can very much see that in that environment where it's super short. If all I'm looking at is essentially how quick he's getting to the ball, you're very quick to the ball.
He's hitting the ball pretty well there. When I go and I watch it. Compare some of the
Love
pictures.
that.
You-
And I can see like that being the case. And I can also see where there is a bigger struggle when we do get to here, because now that ball's traveling twice as far. So now like I said, those little micro moves or that impatience of like, why isn't the ball here yet? That's the biggest issue with athletes is like, why isn't the ball here yet? When you're playing catch with somebody, when the ball gets thrown, you go out to go get it. You take your hand to go get it. Hitting's the exact opposite. We need to make it wait. We have to wait for the ball to get to us, because I can't hit the ball when it's halfway, run out of the box and go and get it. I can't do anything until that ball gets to me. And so, like I said, there's value in training in a short cage. That's why in that far cage, we only have it set up 45 feet away from the home plate. But in here, we have it set up 57 feet.
I like this right here because I think the combination of both two is going to help.
Yes. And then we have different purposes for each cage too. That cage, we're working on whatever movements we're working on, whatever adjustments we're trying to feel. And here we are doing that, but we're kind of doing it also from a competitive standpoint, like just finding a way. Does that make sense? So this negative 20 VBA, and this is where I think we were a little bit late. Your VBA is going to be the angle of which your bat is at contact. So 0 is going to be very top of the zone. Negative 90 is going to be straight down. So essentially, you are very close to this portion at the top. So that's why I think we're very much kind of catching the ball pretty deep here. We're not really getting a chance, because as we reach out generally, we're going to increase our VBA. So with you having a very small VBA or a very close to 0 VBA, you're very flat. That's going to affect a couple different things. Like I said, we're discussing bat path. That's going to affect your ability to have a wide range of your barrel being able to make contact with the ball. When I'm very flat, I'm going to be in the zone and I'm going to be out of the zone. When I have VBA, when I rotate, I'm going to be in the zone for a lot longer of time. Think it's like a pendulum. When a pendulum's swinging and it's like this is a lot of VBA. My bat path is working from the catcher to the pitcher. When my pendulum's working like this, I am now in the zone, and any ball that I make contact from here on out is just going to be pulled.
Okay.
And so that's where that bat path aspect, if we can find to get a little bit more tilt with that bat, not by your hands going down. So that's been one thing we have been working on. You remember the neck bands?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the time when he gets a low pitch, he tries to have his hands go to the ball. We need the barrel to go to the ball. And so that's where we've been working on. He's been putting a band around his neck, putting his hands inside of it. So that way, when there is that low pitch, I can't go here because that band's forcing him here. He has to trust and allow this barrel to get to the ball. So we're going to keep that into our warm-up and our drills and our mixes, okay? If you're able to do something like that at home, anytime you're hitting off the tee, when you go to practice, anytime you're warming up, I don't think it would be a bad thing to work on that as well, okay? So this is going to be the biggest thing that we're going to be working on this next upcoming month before games get rocking and rolling, okay? Do you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns for this portion? Okay, so we're going to move on to this aspect. So average exit velocity has increased from the previous month. We're working to kind of get back to where we've been in the past, all right? I think big thing for you, and we've discussed, I think, you were playing in November, weren't you?
Yes.
So he was done. No, he was done with baseball.
You were done in November?
Yeah. So
I
he was
thought
doing.
I had games like
We had football and baseball. Both ended in October, and towards the very end of October is when baseball ended too.
I gotcha.
And then you were doing basketball.
So this is essentially because we have it September, missed October because of all that gameplay. So this is you coming right back from playing games. And then from there, we've seen these numbers got a little bit better in sense of max. Our average dropped a little bit. And then here, we're kind of getting them a little bit better. Now, I'm going to show you where I got this data. If you notice, these two numbers are the same. I'm going to show you why that is the case. But we did a little bit better with our average. We'll discuss these two here in a second. All right. Now, how I got that data. So This is pulled from our couple of sessions, or this is the one session, the very end in January. All right. We went through, you saw 41 pitches get shot out at you. We made contact, we made contact 6 times. All right. So how I find a top 8th average.
Hold up. Out of 41 pitches, he made contact only 6 times.
6 times.
Holy shit. Okay.
Now, this is a new unit, so I am trying to go through and see a couple more times of like what is the case. We did struggle this session.
Are these fastballs or?
So we have a mix. We got fastballs, so all 65-mile-an-hour fastballs.
65 mile an hour, 6 out of 41. Wow.
So how I got this data is essentially getting the CSV, going through and pulling your average exit velocity.
So this is just tweaks?
Yeah. Average exit velocity, your average launch angle, average exit direction, bat speed, and then distance, smash factor. The green.
So the distance is how many feet before it hits the ground?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So this green number is what could be deemed your top 8th. So with us having 6 balls in play, one of those pitches essentially is going to be your hardest exit velocity, which also normally, so I'm going to go to Leo over here. And keep in mind, Leo's in the high school membership. So
this is all based off of one session, right?
Yes.
All this data.
One session.
Did we only come one time in January?
I think this guy wasn't working before. So this machine wasn't working yet at the moment. So we had the one session at the end that was documented. And the other stuff we did was like movement focused, different stuff like that. We can go back, we can look at the videos as well.
Oh no, we're good on that. I was just.
So this is Leo.
I don't know. Yeah.
So actually that's not even all of Leo. This is all of Leo in 1 month. Now he also drives over an hour away.
So this is all January. So he's here
all the time.
Sometimes throughout the week.
And with a high school membership, you can come 6 times a week, essentially. And so that's where that difference is, and it's $330 per month for the year. So this is like where that difference is, because this is also group sessions as well. But this is where I'm able to get a lot more quote unquote accurate data. It's just the more frequency. And so I do want to go over like this was with the one session. This is like the difference in, that's why I said the 83% whiff rate. I want to get a few more sessions in so that way we can kind of stabilize that database. But I did want to go over this before we got into gameplay, that kind of thing. Because what we work on the next 2 months is going to be just strictly, let's get as game ready as possible. Yeah. Not too worried about necessarily like high school or anything. Like how can we be very good right now for Isiah?
Can you pull up December? I'm just curious how many sessions were logged in for that.
I think I had 2 sessions for December that we used hit tracks. Or I apologize, Repsodo.
So, okay, so that's a session. So that means September, that one session here determined the numbers for the month.
Yep.
Same thing with one time November.
2 times December, and 1 time in January. And that's,
we were coming a lot more.
That's with using this this device. So that's why I have it listed there. So these numbers are going to be from a lot more. So we'll go to. We also had movement days that were involved in there. So where we didn't necessarily swing, we just worked on water bag, body movement, stuff like that, trying to get a little bit more intent on the movement.
Okay. Because I have Isiah down for 3 sessions in January.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 in December.
Oh, I can pull this up actually from the. There's a leaderboard.
3 in November.
Yeah, that's how many sessions I have when it looks at times that we track data. So he had 90 swings in January. So he saw the 6 swings from that 26th, and then we had 73 other swings in those other 2 sessions. So we're getting about 40 swings per session. But he only made contact those 6 times, so it just skewed a lot of the data for us.
Wow.
Yes, is top 8th.
Huh.
So yeah, 90 swings then throughout the entire month. 40 of them came from that one session. So about 40 from the first one and then about 40 from the other, or 30.
And those were just fastballs. I could see if they were a combination of curves and
Yep. So
all these
those
different
were
pitches, but just fastballs. That's concerning.
Yep. So this is real speed of the pitch. 65, 67,
And
66,
you do well
65.
with that speed. Like, that's easy for you right there. What would happen? So do foul balls count as missed and all that too then?
No. So this is also including foul balls.
So those
So, I apologize. This is like, this would be considered a foul ball. Is like a whiff, quote unquote. So he only put 6 balls in play.
Oh my goodness.
So 83% were not in play. And that's also not including the takes. So these balls that have no metric at all, that was when he took a pitch, which isn't a good thing or a bad thing, but
these are all strikes.
generally I would say, yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he took 6 pitches that were strikes.
I would say the takes can be normal. I would say the whiff rate is extremely high. And so like we can go to this leaderboard. Oops, and you can actually see whiff rates on here as well. Now I didn't put Isaiah's in here, just with it being the one session, I didn't want to drastically skew a bunch of data. But like we had one guy that had 48%, and then I think the next lowest would be 35 right here. 48, 35, then
way higher than all those things. So.
Yeah.
Man, okay. I don't even know where to go for this. Go from here.
And then we had 33% was our middle school average in the month of January. I've done a lot of chit chat. What's going through your mind there, Isaiah?
I didn't know it was that bad.
I can't hear you at all, dude.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Can you put up his where he stands with the other kids right now again? That same chart.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see this because on your team right now, just the way he's hitting better than most of those kids.
Which is a good thing.
This is no kidding who your competition is, right? These are the boys that you're going to be facing, and that's where you stand.
So we've had a few chats in the past where you've mentioned how excited your coaches are for you and where you're at. And I haven't disagreed. But I think I have reminded you a few times of like, that is different. We discussed when you mentioned, well, I had a lot of success in the fall. It's like, yes, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm not trying to take away that you didn't have that success. But we also got a question like, who is that success against? Who am I comparing myself to? Does that make sense? And so that's why I've been putting together this so that way you're able to see kind of where you're at. And again, when you get to high school, it's a different ballgame. And that's whether you're playing baseball, basketball, football, track, boxing, whatever sport you're playing. I guess maybe minus boxing because they go by weight class. Essentially, you're competing against every person you see on this list right here. You will compete against at some point over the next 4 years. So I got one guy that's in 6th grade. You're going to compete against him at some point. I got all these guys, every single one of them, you're going to compete against. And that's whether at your school, whether that's at the JV level, the varsity level, the freshman level, whatever it is. For the rest of your baseball, football career, it doesn't matter what age you are. I was 19 when I graduated high school. Did not get held back. I was 19 when I graduated high school. So me as a 19-year-old senior, I was at the same tryout as 13-year-old freshmen. It's a 6-year difference. And it doesn't matter what age you are anymore. It doesn't matter what grade you are necessarily anymore. Varsity is split between seniors, juniors, freshmen, sophomores. There isn't like a 14U, 15U where you're just playing against those on your team. It does start to change, right?
Will I be the next time that he gets? When will the next evaluation occur?
Probably middle March.
That's the next time he gets evaluated.
Yeah.
So the sessions prior to that,
That's
we're all
us just
working towards the next evaluation.
yes. And so we'll sit down. I have a little board that we go over. You should have pictures of all the ones that we've done in the past, of what drills, what bats, what tools to use to try and adjust and fix whatever issues we're having
Okay.
for that next time.
So I'm sorry, I don't mean evaluation. The next time that he gets his information logged.
Oh, every session until we go again.
So next Monday then.
We'll hit
Okay.
the whole
Would
time.
I be able to? That 6 out of 41. That's horrendous.
Yep.
Would I be able to see or communicate with you? I just want to know how we.
Yeah. So full swing. So
Or
there.
for the next one.
Yeah. So full swing is an app. That is what we have. Do you have full swing downloaded on your phone?
I have Blast and I have something with an R.
So it'll be. Let me see what email you used. And every pitch that he sees, there's a video that's sent. So you use igd916 at icloud.com.
Yeah, that's his. Yep.
And so that'll be the email associated with that. So you just need to go in, log in with that same email, and you'll have the same access that he has in that app. Okay. Essentially, it'll
So I have
show.
Diamond and Blast right now.
Okay. And this one is essentially replacing that Diamond app.
Okay. So can I delete the Diamond? Because I don't think anything's on there anymore.
No, yeah, you can get rid of that guy. And then essentially, so this is the app. He'll be able to go through. It looks a little bit different because it's me logged in versus you guys. But he's able to see his previous session. So let me see if I can find Isaiah's previous session. So here's that day. So you can click on Isaiah. It'll pull this data up. Now, this is showing his top 50% of hits. But these are essentially all the swings. So this is sorted by bat speed. You can sort it by, we'll go by distance. So that's where 137 was the furthest hit that he had on that day. Oh, misread then. Not even, that's not good. There we go. And that's where you're going to go down, touch the floor like we've been working on. But you'll be able to see all of this after every session. But this also shows all of this data. So how hard you hit it, or the pitch speed, how hard you hit it, the distance, your bat speed. So that was a 47.8 bat speed.
Would I be able to tell 6 out of 41?
Yes. So if you hit back and go sort by essentially exit velocity. So these are all the balls that you put in play. And here's the ones that were not.
Okay.
And then you can also see by the times that he swung, if you go to bat speed, it'll sort all the ones that he swung at. And here are the ones that he took. So we can even see. Oh, I guess he didn't take on that one. Then this is one. So this is like I said, one of the ones that we took. We're just seeing that. So there is some of those in there. I think that may be the only one because we started swinging right after that every time. But you also have access to this if you have, you got the email, you got login, all of that. So you have access to get into this as well. So that is, we can get you guys set up with that app
Sounds great.
and rock and roll with that. Now, the one thing is we'll not show this, like the comparison data as well, but it would be good for, like I said, I think this is in Slack as well. So I'll make sure you guys get added to Slack so that way you guys get this link that gets updated every month. Comments, questions? What you got? Okay. Let's go to this guy. All right, so that's why you see these two numbers the same. Just the lack of balls in play. This is just from that one swing. When we look at this guy, that's why these are zeros. We just didn't hit the ball often enough to have it to where it counted as much. Smash factor. So this is the first time we're actually able to track a true smash factor, which I like because the device actually shows this. So this is where just going through finding the average of all these. So smash factor essentially, how well are we being able to translate bat speed into exit velocity? So 1.3 is going to be a good average. 1.45 is going to be a good smash. So we're at a 1.2 here. We'd like to see that increase. We're at a 1.35 right here. Here's our height. Here's our weight. We got our whiff rate. Like I said, I'm going through and making lifetime averages so we can truly see and track on average where our guys at. What's the progress for them? So like these are my 7th and 8th graders. Essentially, we just see just a progression over what was like for them month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5. Going through 6th grade, same thing. Just going through, looking at comparisons. This is going to be probably the most prominent that you'll see adjustments on, just because these guys are the ones that come in and been coming in for the last year. So when they first came in, average bat speed 49.8. So far right now, after 1 year, they've increased about 8 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour. I've got to finish up doing the rest of this side of this portion, but that way you guys can kind of get a good idea. But the average underclassman swings about 54.2 miles an hour, where we are a little bit below. The average 7th and 8th grader in here, and you're in this data as well. Jumping 1,000 different places. You're in this information as well. So like the average, 48.9. We are currently at 44.1. Like I said, this is also with us trying to work towards a little bit more mixed pitch. This is also that one session. So, well, I think we already have 1 or 2 sessions so far in the month of February. Using this, we'll get a little bit more data size, a little bit more numbers to kind of get a little bit better of an average and get a little bit better of an idea. But like I said, these numbers are over 90 swings. So this is a little bit more stabilized than this is. Because we do use blast motion when we go in that other cage and we're working on stuff. So that this is a little bit more stabilized over here. Grab a whiteboard for me and a dry erase marker.
How much you in today? Is that 119?
Maybe. And we'll throw that in here. Like I said, over probably middle of February, or probably middle of March, we'll go over these numbers as well. Alrighty, sir. So what bats did you like using last month?
The flat side.
The paddle. Beauty, write that down. What else?
Do we use mini bets? I just remember this one being the most.
No worries. And if that's the one that you like the most, that's perfect. We'll throw in the thin bat in there as well.
What's the one you used with Jace this year? I was at that one.
That was the paddle. Double.
And let's throw in Power Trainer. It's the pink and gray one. Let's go. What variables did you like doing?
Variables.
It's like the bat pointer, check swing, swing hold, floor touch. Which ones do we got down there?
Floor touch.
Yeah, that's a good one. Any others?
I feel like something down was the main one that helped me.
Okay. Let's throw in check swing in there as well. I don't think we've done check swing, so that's what we'll go over when we get into the warm-up cage. What tools did you like using? It's like the angle board, the block, a little yellow ball, the handband.
Wait, angle block?
Angle board or the block, either or.
I guess wear a yellow ball.
Yep. And let's also write neckband in there as well.
Yeah.
Drills. What drills did you like doing?
Well, like really.
So like Happy Gilmore, the pivot pick.
Oh yeah, that Happy Gilmore one.
Okay, let's write that down. This is also offset open, offset closed. Yeah. Beauty. Go ahead, take a picture of that with your phone. That's what we'll be doing over the next month when we get into the warm-up cage. Anytime you're at practice, you're at home, I want you working on these as well, okay?
Okay.
And then you good if we go like another like 10 over?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we'll hop in the other cage. We'll go through any of the ones that you have questions on, any of the ones you don't maybe feel as comfortable with. So that way when you do them outside of here, you feel a little bit better, okay?
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Money, let's get a sensor on you.
Am I using the wood?
Yep, Woody. $32, right? Beauty. There we go. Let's see if we can get some. What's up, dude? How are you today? Good. Alrighty, sir. Let's take this in with us. That way we can look at it. Oh my God. Thank you, sir. All right. Which ones do you have a question on? Which ones do we maybe not feel as comfortable with? Kind of walk me through what we got. All of them are good? All right. Let's go paddle with a neck band, angle board, Happy Gilmore. Sound good? We'll go fastballs to start. Beauty. What was that? You want to go block or angle board? Okay. Then you want to go Happy Gilmore's? What do you want to do? Yep. Remember, you're going to make the first move, okay? So you're going to start your stride, and then I'm going to go. Above it or below it? Better. Two more and we'll chat. Not bad. Last one. What you think? What we got? Dude, I can't hear you, bro. Okay. So what adjustment did you try for that? Okay. How'd you adjust that? Like, what'd you do to do something different? Okay. Let's go. Let's switch the band out. Let's go to this one. Same thing, just this guy. And I'm going to switch us to the gamer. So that way we can get some blast state and just see where we're at. Go to school today, huh? Look at that. Look at that. Money. All right. Let me see you work to make an adjustment. Whatever that is. All right. Whatever that is. You said you're late and under it, right? Right? Okay. There we go. All right, so what adjustment are we making? Let's not be late and let's not be below it. Okay. Would you rather try and be above it or below it right now? Okay, have you tried that? Sounds like a pretty obvious one, huh? Now the next question might be how? How did you feel on your first 2 swings? Huh? What's the thing we said we were going to work on? I mean, besides contact. What was the thing we said we were going to work on besides contact? Yeah. Are those good or bad? Yeah, real good. So, it's not that like the swing is necessarily ass. You got to be willing to make an adjustment, baby. Come on. We talked about you being late and early just like 7 swings ago. Let me see you do something. When are you getting your, well, I guess, let me see you be early. Let me see you be above the ball. If you're going to miss above the ball. Hey, get off of the toe tap. Once your foot's in the air, your foot's in the air. Better. Keep your foot in the air. Close. Better or worse? Okay, let's see if we can build off of that. Better. We weren't under it. That's what I'm looking for. Better. 2 more and we'll chat again. There you go. Better. How did those feel? Good. Look at the VBA. It's pretty solid. What you think? Huh? I need like 10 times up on the volume, Bubba. 10 times up. What you got? What you think? Yeah. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. All right. We're going to go over check swings. Okay. It's a different variable besides this floor touch. Let's get some check swings in there. All right. So check swing, very similar to bat pointers, but we're not going to look to have our bat go beyond our stride foot. So if I'm in my stance, and this is going to be good to use in the neck band, okay? When I swing, I don't want my bat going past my front foot, okay? There, there, there. What we're looking for is that your bat is at the same angle as your shoulders at contact, okay? If we keep going past our front foot, that just means you're not hitting the brakes in your swing early enough. So if I'm swinging and I start to hit my brakes now, my bat's going to go too far. So that means I have to hit my brakes a little bit earlier, like now. So that way my bat's momentum doesn't go too far. Does that make sense? Okay. Keep working hard. I'll still have you start. Yep. You're all right. That's why we're working on it. You're still going to hit it. Find that medium. Better. Now remember, if our bat has too much momentum, is going too far, we need to hit the brakes on the swing a hair earlier. We're trying to get our bat to this point, so find that happy medium. There you go, better. A little bit closer to that stride foot. We gotta find a happy medium. No worries. Let me see your bat real quick. We gotta find a way to get a happy medium. So right now, we're either A, too far, or B, not enough. There's gray area in between. I need you to find that middle area to be able to stop here. Does that make sense? We're trying to find a way of how to deliver the barrel and find the timing of delivering the barrel. All right, same page. We'll go the rest of the bucket and then we'll go from there, okay? Dang it. Better. Now a little bit more with the barrel. There, better. Now feel free to hold that. You don't have to whip it back. You can just leave your bat right there, okay? Good job. Allow your barrel to get there. We're not trying to have our chest go forward. We're trying to have the barrel go forward, okay? Let your barrel go there. That's why I got you wrapped up in a band. Close. 3 more. Two. Last one. All right, let's get picked. Should be a black bucket back there. And not all of them will be thrown back in this bucket. Just those guys. And I think this guy will. And then you're good on those guys. I'm using that to kind of separate out some different balls at the moment. Sweet. Did you hit off the tramp yet? Oh, I'll give you one.